Hi everyone, big fan here. Welcome to the cast of the Flash versus Jaedong Soul match for the OGN G2 Festa. So Flash, Jaedong, two of the most well-known players in Brood War. Both of them have a lot of MSL, OSL wins. Flash also has won a couple different ASLs back to back in the post-Casper era. So this is common stuff for a lot of the Brood War audience. So the Jaedong is spawning in the top right as the blue Zerg, and Flash is in the bottom right as the red Terran. So it'll be interesting to see how both of them approach the game, because as you guys know, both players suffer from a lot of injuries right now. Wrist problems. Jaedong had a problem with his eyes at one point as well. So they're not at their top form, but their series always are a pleasure to watch. That's a pretty interesting glasses. And I'm pretty sure it's a full audience as well. These guys are extremely popular. The first time these guys met in the post-Casper era was during the ASL2. And I don't know if you guys remember, we had a full audience. 300,000 people tuned in to watch their first bout, and I believe it was, a couple of years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. It was a while since. So we'll see what Flash does. It's more than likely, I would presume he's going to open up with the usual 1-Rax expand. But we'll see as well. I'm not really sure if, or he might just go for his 1-1-1 as well. Probably depends on what he's thinking. Looks like Jaedong's going for the 12 hatch, and probably a pull shortly after as well. And both because they're scouting. Looks like they're scouting, I believe, cross spawns in this case, if not mistaken. Yeah, definitely cross spawns. So depending on how they scout at this point, there is always a chance that they might scout cross positions right after this first scout, and we have seen people do this before. So Flash doesn't find anything, Jaedong doesn't find anything yet, and the pulls in as well. I believe it was about a 12 pull. Could be wrong on that though, I wasn't watching the supplies. So the Overlord sees the first Drax. We do see Flash banking some money as well. So more than likely a CC at this point, because if he was going to get a gas, it would have been earlier. So it looks like it's a 1-Rax expand from Flash. On the other hand, Jaedong, yeah, 1-Rax expand. It's confirmed. And now you guys can see Flash essentially knows where Jaedong's base is because he saw the Overlord more than likely. So he's just going to check, sees the third hatch, sees the gas building. So nothing out of the ordinary, pretty standard TVZ so far. Jaedong is of course verifying the expansion, he does so. Let's see what else is going on. So no gas for Flash just yet, which makes sense. Unfortunately, 350 and so so the first two Zergs are out just to chase the SCV around, but as you guys know, Flash, much like other players like Bisu, he's able to really keep his SCV alive, and that gives him a lot of vital information when the lure comes in, and if there's any kind of speed, etc. We do see a second Drax added for Flash, which is pretty reasonable. It's pretty standard. And a sunken for Jaedong just to be on the safe side. So the gas for Flash. So one thing I do like about Flash, and this is something that I feel like a lot more turners should be doing, and I have seen Mind actually do this, sometimes he'll do these little marine pokes out. So he'll scare away the scouting Zergling, but sometimes he'll also rush halfway across the map and then he'll retreat. And you know what? If you as a Zerg player don't realize this is coming, or if you do see it coming, sometimes you'll build extra sunkens just to be on the safe side. You try morphing them, much like Jaedong is doing, to be on the safe side. And that, that's 15 minerals that you're using to make the sunken. So we do see the Academy from Flash. I believe we also saw. Let me see. It's a little hard to tell without being able to control the map, the replay. So the Academy should be finishing soon. More than likely Stim, I believe, should be first. We do see the Spire as well, so 3 Hutch Muta. I guess we'll have to see what Jaedong's Muta Michael is like. and more than likely Stim, I believe, and probably the engineering bay is going to be coming up as well. So second gas is already done, mining. And yeah, Flash had a decent, the game is pretty decent so far. It does look like Jaedong is supply blocked for a bit, but he does make another overlord, just hatches now. So it's more than likely there still is no comp set, which is what the commentators are talking about, because typically Flash doesn't really know if Jaedong is going for Spire or Mutas. And I don't believe he got a whiff of the second gas either, because my understanding is if it's a 2 gas, it's more than likely a Muta build. If it's a single gas, it's more than likely a Lurker build of some kind. I could be wrong, but I mean, it makes sense when you think about it from a gas perspective, just how heavy Mutas are. So you guys can see Stim is done, Flash is just running up, but Jaedong is getting 2 Sunkas, he's getting a third one, so Flash smells an opportunity. He's gonna try and might pounce on this. No, it looks like he's retreating. But keep in mind just how much drones Jaedong had to use. The turret lines are going up, should be just in time. The mirrors haven't popped just yet, although that is a lot of Zerglings. Flash is getting more racks. Looks like it's the 5 racks plus 1. The mirrors should be popping out any minute now as well. Now, if Jaedong does manage to catch this army out on the map somewhere, gets a nice surround, that would be a huge win for him. Especially seeing that Flash also doesn't have a bunker, doesn't have anything defending at home. And this will allow him to take his 3rd base in peace as well, essentially. So, the Marines are just outside the vision of the order, so this is great. And it's possible that Flash is purposely doing this. It could be that it's, I don't believe so. I think it's just standing just guarded there, essentially. This would have been a nice counter here, but there is still enough of a block and the army is there. This army was halfway across the map, then Jaedong could easily pounce on, but you guys will see. Flash is going to get a nice position here, he's going to bring his army back. I would say this is probably a bad idea, because he might kill a couple of turrets, the SCVs are still there, the mirrors are going to end up dying. You guys can see, like, Flash basically cleaned this up pretty well. He's going to stop, lose maybe a couple of SCVs, plus a couple of turrets, but overall, I would say this was a decent win for Flash for sure. Jaedong's left with 3 Mutas. Could it have been better? Sure. If Flash's army was on the other side of the map, I think Jaedong would have actually done a lot more damage with this. Now he does have his Hydra Dam, which is great. He doesn't have his 3rd just yet. I believe he's going to be sending out more than likely a drone just to take it. But the situation is definitely in Flash's favor right now. He already has his racks, his upgrades is probably just about to finish. He's getting his factory. It looks like the Jaedong might try for another run, but I mean, at this point in time, honestly, this is not really going to do much. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the Flash has more than enough to kill this. And if he does yeah, okay, yeah, he's going to basically squeeze him in. So I don't believe Jaedong has any upgrades on his units, but Flash is in a commanding lead right now. Money-wise, macro-wise, they're both doing pretty well. Now Jaedong's Muto Micah could be better, personally, I believe, but we haven't really seen much of it because he tried for that attack on the natural. Now if Flash does manage to catch the Hydras right before they morph, okay. That was nicely done by Jaedong just as the last minute. It does feel like Flash would have been able to catch them had he actually moved in, had he not fired at the first Hydra and moved in just before it morphed. He may have actually done something, but he is consolidating his armies. So this will be great for him. And I mean, Jaedong, so he actually will probably potentially break up the ramp as well if he's, yeah. So Jaedong is basically fighting for his life at this point in time. I mean, that's just the one lurker, right? Yeah. Okay, so he's broken up the ramp. So this base is lost at this point in time. You guys can see Jaedong is obviously not the happiest. On the meantime, Flash has probably already gotten his starports up at this point, I would presume. but the third base is down. Very, very favorable for Flash. And as long as he hasn't, as long as he's continued to tuck up back home, this looks like his game so far to lose. I can also see a large army going across the map. The hive is on the way, so no defiles anytime soon. Flash must be feeling great. He also even has the vessels coming out with Irradiate on the way. So he can potentially bust him at this point. I haven't seen any lurkers at the front. So if you know what, he does have 2 medics, but he does have a lot of medics. He can potentially bust this, and it looks like that's what he's going to end up doing as well. So as long as he target fires, you know, these Sagas aren't going to stand a chance. There's also barely any Zerglings in the back as well, and the Mira count is very small. So this is Flash's game at this point. Even if he gets Jaedong gets the last 2 lurkers up, Flash is essentially going to be winning this game, guys. So it looks like it's going to be a 1-0 in Flash's favor, just based on what we're seeing here. You can see the first fire. This was a really nice Zergling surround, but at this point, Flash has his third almost done building. He has his vessels up. He's on his 5 racks. He's pumping out Marines like there's no tomorrow. Looks like he's also getting barrack cruisers very shortly, and his second eBay. I'm not sure what his upgrades are, so hopefully they click on one of the units. Jaedong is in a pretty bad situation right now. And honestly, Flash could easily send his BCs just in any of the bases of Jaedong, and he'll probably will just do massive damage, because Jaedong has suffered a lot of damage just from the last couple of attacks. He's getting his defilement, which is almost done, so that's at least great news. More than likely, he's gonna get consumed right away and try and get Defiler out, because he knows he can tell what's coming, because he sees the vessels, and the vessel count is pretty nice right now. That's about 4 irradiates, potentially more depending on how long he's had them. But this could be a very nice interception, and yes, it is. He gets 2 of them. It's fantastic. Will make things a little easy for Jaedong. It looks like Flash is gonna take his 4th base as well. More racks on the way, going up to 7. Still with the 2 ports. He's still keeping his macro up, but he is basically pulling back. Now Jaedong does get his 3rd, so I mean there is always a small chance of a potential comeback. But so far everything points to a Flash victory. Of course, with Jaedong, you know, Defiles, you can always work miracles with those units. So even though I did call it earlier, there is always a small chance of Jaedong upsetting what seemed like a potential, like a game finisher move, the bust earlier on. Yeah, so it looks like he's gonna send them to the expansion, which is a great idea. I don't believe Jaedong has scouted the BCs just yet, and the Scourge are mostly for the vessels. So Flash is basically just moving all over Flash is moving all over the place, checking to see what's going on. You know, and the Matrix as well. So Flash is going for the kill. Now there is a Defiler here. There isn't any Hydras from what I saw there. There is some Spore, but even then, units will still, structures will still take damage under Dark Swarm, and the Defiles can still plague the BCs, but I believe that he wouldn't have plague at this point in time. No, wait. Yeah, I don't think he has plague just yet, because he's more than likely just got the consume. But I mean, at this point in time, if Flash can just pick off drones in the main, and he can continue pressuring the 3rd base as he is right now, basically essentially preventing Jaedong from getting a 4th. And with his eco in shambles again, Jaedong has to rebuild his drones. He can make an army. That was a very nice split on Jaedong's part. Very nice defense. But it's not enough. He needs a couple more Scourge. On the other hand, Flash is taking his 5th. And I mean, the Hydras aren't even going to be killing the BC, it doesn't look like. So you guys can see, like 11 kill BC, probably a 12 kill very shortly. and the difference in supply actually tells the story in this case. Flash is up almost 100 supply. Well, yeah. So just more map control. Looks like Jaedong's gonna try and push out. And maybe push Flash a bit back. The thing is, a 4 base Terran against a 3 base Zerg who just lost drones yet again to BCs. You guys can imagine just what kind of situation this is. Now, Jaedong is doing a great job with the Dark Swarm. He is pushing back Flash slowly. So I mean, there is always a chance if he can push him back into the expansion siege it, that would be great. And he's also getting a 4th base at the 12 o'clock. If Flash doesn't scout this using his spidey senses, then Jaedong does have a chance of coming back into the game. The biggest thing is just what his defiler usage would be like. And this was a very nice swarm just to try and get the Marines to run away so he can take a base there. But it doesn't look like he's carried the 12 just yet, which is a good thing for Jaedong. Oh, okay, never mind. I see some more units going up there. So it looks like he's gonna scout the base. And you guys know what that means. Flash is gonna basically move to try and kill it. He's also targeting the Knights, which is a great idea. If he targets the Knights, that means no use can be ferried, and he also kills the Defiler on top of that. So even if he gets a single Hydra or whatever, now essentially this base is almost forfeit if he kills this Nidus. Yeah, the GG from Jaedong. So well played game by Flash. It feels like Jaedong could have done things a bit better. The dive itself wasn't a bad idea, so to speak. But I mean, he knew that Flash's army is close by. It feels very questionable to me to do that. If Flash's army was across the map, he could probably done a lot more damage. Flash for his turn macroed really well. He stopped the 3rd, which is a big sign of what was to come. Yeah, so let's move on to game number 2. So this was probably the big turning point. So this is the second set. This should be Rush Hour. Now, I personally have never played on this map. I only remember, I believe, that famous game between Flash and Jaedong. I definitely recommend you guys to watch that. I can link it in the description below. Yeah. So let's take a look and see what ends up happening in this case. So Flash is spawning as the Terran in the top left, Jaedong as the Zerg in the bottom left. We'll see if Flash goes. I'm not really sure what the playstyle is on this map, but there is as you guys can see, there is a big area here as well to try and defend. So I mean, there is always a chance of run-bys, so to speak. Maybe Flash went for something like the 1-1-1, potentially. It'll be interesting to see if he does the 1 Rax FE though, or if he does the 1-1-1 or what he goes for. Likewise, there is always a chance that Jaedong will, go for pool first on this map, I feel. Mostly just because of how open the expansion is, but honestly, it's anyone's guess at this point. So you should just watch intently and see. I say watch the mineral count. It's always a clue to what they might be going for. Jaedong is banking up 206 minerals last I checked. Yep, fighting. So let's see if he's dropped the pool at this point, or yeah, he dropped the pool. So it seems like a pretty decent option. Get some links out on the map, or at least there is always a chance that Flash will, do some kind of a proxy, do some kind of a cheese on the map, even if he is, in my opinion, the better player, just because of given their history. Looks like the expansion. Hopefully Jaedong gets the expansion before Flash blocks it. Yeah, he should be able to. So that's great. Although the expansion looks like it's at 10, which seems a bit early if you ask me. Well, I guess to be fair, he did get the gas. So that did probably lower it as well. So no gas yet for Flash. He is banking, more than likely a CC probably. But it's, yeah. So CC, I can see what looks like an SCV moving down. Maybe that's a Marine. But there is a SCV moving, so it's more than likely a 1-Rax expand. So hopefully, I would love to see Flash go for more bio in this game, because when the 111 hit, especially back in ASL 6, it feels like more zones than not have been going for the 111. It is easier on the wrists, but there is a lot of ways to take advantage of the build. So I personally myself, if you guys have seen my TVZs, I prefer bio builds just because nothing really beats Marine Medic Micro, versus Muralisks or Zerglings or Lurkers or any other unit. So the layer is basically up. I don't think there's a third just yet, a third hash. Another Arax, nothing out of the ordinary, a gas as well, probably an academy at some point in the very near future just for stim. So it feels like it's close to the last game for Flash. So Jaedong should get, so he should actually, yeah, so he denied the scout, which was great. So 2-hatch Muta. So 2-hatch Muta. Now the question is, does Flash, is he gonna get an eBay? Does he actually, I'm not sure what Flash is, if Flash actually practiced how much he practiced on this map, or if it's 2-hatch is honestly common on the map. I do know it does hit about, what, a minute and a half earlier, but I mean, he is getting an academy, so that's a good thing. And Jaedong is getting his second gas, so that's always a good sign of a 2-hatch, or at least a Muta build. He's just not, Flash just hasn't scouted it just yet. So a lot of happy families, this is always a good thing. Yeah, so he's getting the eBay. Now it should be ready in time. And Flash is doing pretty well macro-wise. Jaedong is not doing too badly himself. He could use a couple more drones at the expansion. So yeah. So the spire is about to be done. The mirrors will pop out very shortly. Jaedong has about 400, so it'll be 500 of them now. The question is Flash should be getting his turrets right away as soon as the eBay is done. Yeah, there you go. First turret is up. It should be ready in time for sure. That's a very nice place he's getting the turret, because he can protect the minerals behind as well. And unless I'm mistaken, it looks like he's only getting a single turret in each mineral line. No, 2. Okay, they were just a bit delayed. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. And this will essentially block the back. It looks like he's going to get another turret there as well. And okay. So Flash is doing everything pretty well. It'll come down to what Jaedong's Muta Michael is like, but Flash is prepared at this point in time. Now guys, keep in mind that Flash only has just 2 racks, 2 barracks. So if Jaedong can actually bust into the main, break down the racks, or break down the turrets, that'll give him, with his strong Muta micro, he can probably do a lot of damage. But I personally like the situation for Flash at this point in time. So far he's doing pretty well. But Jaedong can put off miracles, so I'm not, underestimating him. I would never underestimate the Tyrant. Now the question is what Jaedong is gonna do, because there's a lot of Mr. Turrets here, and those also give time the Flash time to respond. Is he gonna take a third? That's the question. He's getting a Hydra Den. He's probably gonna try and get Lurkers. My assumption is he's will to try and take a third, because at this point in time, it's gonna be hard to break Flash, especially with the amount of Marines he has. You guys can see this fantastic turret placement, and he has a lot of units in the main. He's not going to be losing anything anytime soon. Like, he's not going to be losing control of his main or expansion. So did he pick up? Yeah, so he did pick off that the force SCV. Looks like he's gonna pick it off again. But even then, it's still not. It's just an inconvenience, but it's not that big of a deal. Flash is also getting his starport. Looks like he's getting probably +1 air weapons, I believe. He's also only on 3 racks, I believe. Yeah, he's getting his 3rd one right now. So 2 ports, probably a side vessel soon after. And he's definitely on top of his base defense. Now the question is Jaedong gonna be expanding soon? I do see something moving at the bottom right of the map. I'm gonna presume that's probably a drone to take one of the side expansions, or maybe he's gonna be taking something. I'm presuming he's gonna be taking something like another main. So probably, yeah, where the drone is, because I believe, I want to say, So Jaedong's still doing well so far, keeping Flash in his base, preventing the move out. And you guys can see with all the blood on the ground as well, I think he's doing pretty well. If he's able to pick off medics, that'll be a big one as well. Now Flash is also not doing that bad, but there is a lot of medics in this army. And if Jaedong manages to morph these Hydras, that's basically going to be safe for now. Unless Flash goes for dropships, then Jaedong has to smile out and be ready to intercept. But it looks like Flash knows about the base. He gets the scan off, which was really amazing timing on his part. He doesn't see the lurkers though. And he's basically just guiding his ramp, because at this point he can also, you know, keep an eye on the mutas. He keeps his ports safe as well, so the mutas can't just swoop in from the top. Because as you guys remember, the Jaedong, I believe, killed the Terror there. So it'll be interesting to see what the supplies are. I'm pretty sure Flash is way ahead supply-wise. And it looks like he's going to be taking a 3rd base as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, 3rd base for sure. Is that lurkers I see at the bottom? Now this is a pretty nice. It's a really nice location in the sense that it was a choke. It would have been hard for Flash to easily or as easy surround, especially if Jaedong managed to cut the turret line and move towards the back. Although there is the high ground as well. So I think what Jaedong was trying to do there is get a couple of lurkers there, maybe kill the turrets. That'll give his mutas a chance to harass the expansion easily, or easier. But Flash is ready with the double bunkers as well. Oh, and that was oh wow, that was a pretty bad move. Jaedong essentially lost all his mirrors at this point, or most of them. The vessel's still alive, didn't even get a single hit, and you guys can see from his face, he realizes that this did not work out as planned. He did stop the 3rd from going up. This is definitely a win for him though. And his 3rd should be up any minute. Well, it should be up, and he should have some lurkers there as well. He is withdrawing, which is also a great idea in the nick of time. And this is a fantastic place as well, because trying to engage that as a Terran, it's a nightmare. The question is Jaedong gonna try and... I mean, he's still saturating his 3rd. He's probably still picking up to Hive at this point, especially with Flash having the science vessels out. But, well, so at least he gets the vessel, which is great. This is still a good win. But Flash's army is growing bigger by the minute, and most of Jaedong's army is essentially the couple lurkers he has, the mutas, probably a couple of zerglings, potentially. He does the Father Mount pretty soon, I hope. Yes, he actually has it done. Perfect. Okay, perfect. I was actually a little concerned there, especially that's almost at the 12-minute mark. And so Flash is taking his 4th, and so I like what Flash is doing here, because he's basically guarding the left side of the map where Jaedong's expansion is, and at the same time he also mined the other side, so Jaedong can't just easily counterattack. He also has a couple of units there. Now Jaedong can swoop in and stop, the SCVs, the building SCV, or kill the Marines there. So pretty decent work, but I mean he is caught. He gets the SCVs. He should move out shortly, I would say. And even with the damage he's doing right now, this is not really, I mean, it'll help him get back into the game, but Flash's supply is just starting to really exceed Jaedong's. I feel like Jaedong needs to take a fourth very shortly, because Flash is essentially just getting bigger and bigger by the minute. And again, you guys can take a look at the supply. Even though it doesn't always tell the picture, this is a really large supply. Now this attack here will be vital. If the lurkers get hit by the mines and they have some damage done on them, Jaedong can outright. It would be a bad situation for him essentially. But he does have the Overlord there, so it does look like he has anticipated this because the vultures were there earlier. He is going to stop the mining as well, but Flash is probably just going to transfer his workers either to the third or back to his expansion, and he has the vessel cloud. So even though he's had to lift, you know what? No harm done. He hasn't lost any workers. He's just lost a couple of buildings. Nothing too crazy right now. He also even has a tank as well. So as long as he gets the Defiler, and it looks like he hasn't irradiated it yet, he should be in a pretty decent position regardless. And he's even taking another base down here as well, so he's kind of expanding a bit more. And once those lurkers are cleaned up, he'll take that base. He's going to end up going to 5 bases. So it looks like he's going also for the mech switch on this map as well. Adding more tanks as well, floating his racks to get some vision, probably over the key points on the map. Now, if you guys take a look and see the way the map is spread, you guys can see Flash has a vision of most of the attack routes available. I mean, he's even taking the base at 9 o'clock. So once he gets 9 o'clock established in the base before, he's essentially going to be up to about, I'm going to say 5 gas, because the one in the main is probably going to be get close to mined out. That's a huge lead. That's a pretty good advantageous situation for him. Now, what are the upgrades? Let's hopefully click on a Marine for us, or a Mulisk, or a Zerglin, so we can see some of the upgrades. He does have his 4th. He is getting the Nidus, so that's great stuff overall. But the Flash is definitely, by far, I would say, by far, in a fantastic situation right now. So more hatcheries. So it looks like Jaedong is mostly just droning up and keeping watch on Flash's army. He realizes that he needs a bit more punch, a bigger army. So the best he can do is play defensive for now. Of course, keeping in mind that Flash has mech switch, Jaedong has essentially lost, or is losing, the window to do some damage, especially with Flash's army. He's essentially maxed out at this point, and what's going to happen at this point is that Flash is just going to keep banking minerals and resources, and eventually what will happen is Flash will just lose his army, or he'll lose part of his army. He'll just remake everything again, while Jaedong, you guys can see he barely has much resource, because he's spending everything he has to just make his army bigger. He is getting ultras. This is not a bad idea, but the question is it going to be, is it going to be too late, or like he does need more? It's just I don't know, guys. This is a really bad situation. That's a lot of mines. That's a fantastic snipe there. That's a great plague as well, but you know what? Flash's the mineral line for Jaedong is basically under fire. He's lost what, 5 drones right now. This is still it's a big win for Flash. He's still killing more drones as well. Very nice drone block though. But I mean, you guys can see Flash's army is also moving up to the location itself now, and the whole back is open. As long as he kills the sunken, he can easily seize the mineral lines from there. Looks like he is going to be targeting. No, he doesn't target anything, but he does have a nice location, especially if he just moves back just a bit. So a bit of an artificial choke with the medics there, although the medics are healing themselves, so that it does play to Jaedong's advantage. He does clean it up, but Flash has just gotten a couple more racks or a couple more factories. He's adding another one there. He's essentially expanded. He has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mining bases, or 4, 5. Sorry guys, he has, well, 5, and he's getting a 6 mining base because his main is out. So, and he's just basically pushing Jaedong at the 4th. Unfortunately, this is a very bad situation for Jaedong. Does he have any defilers? Looks like he's going for a drop. The question is, Flash does have the turrets, so he might actually be able to kill this base. But honestly, like it's more than likely he's gonna turn around when he sees all the turret line there. On the other hand, his 4th is under siege. He is making a lot of zerglings. He could probably break this, but oh yeah, so you guys probably didn't see that. That was a very nice done by Jaedong. I believe he flew a Scourge in there to divert the turret fire. The lurker position as well is very nice, just on top of the ramp. But honestly, this one thing is not really all of a sudden gonna break Flash. He does defend his 4th, which is fantastic for him as well. But you can kind of see the supplies as well. Still in Flash's favor. Flash is still backing a lot. And even though he did lose a lot of workers, and Jaedong, it looks like he's going for potentially another drop at that base. Overall, this is still in Flash's favor. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he actually denied Jaedong's 5th base. So the 4th drop on the Ultras, obviously this is a bad situation for Jaedong. He's losing everything. Yeah, this couldn't have gotten any worse. And I personally feel like this is a bad idea right now. He sort of just sat back and regroup, because Flash's army is all here. You guys can see, like, there's a huge spread of tanks here. Even if he does close in with the tanks, you know, what are the chances that this is not really going to break fast or anything? Yeah, with the D matrix, it's essentially the icing on the cake. That was definitely a nice swarm there. Looks like Flash is gonna potentially lose some more vessels because there's no AA here. He's gonna lose. Wow, that's fantastic. That's great. That's a big win for Jaedong. Still, Flash is yeah, he's basically holding on. Jaedong does need the 5th because he's probably gonna mine out sooner than later. He is getting it. Gets the extra gas as well. So he's still in the game. It's not game over or anything, but there's a lot of tanks here. So this is a really hard situation for Jaedong to break. The dropping on the tank will be very nice though, but I mean, depending on how he drops them, especially with all the D matrices there, yeah. So the swarm on the bottom tanks is great. Keep in mind there is Flash there as well. Flash is on 2-2-1. What about Jaedong's upgrades? I've unfortunately missed them. So Flash supply is down from the 199 and the 180 it was, but so is Jaedong's. They both are floating, but that makes sense. My guess is Flash is probably gonna try and attack that 4th base. It looks like Jaedong is going for a drop on Flash's 4th base. A lot of turrets here. Even if he manages just a single, yeah. More drops here. Or a lone defiler just running for safety. You know, how amazing would it be if Jaedong actually consumed that Ultrask? That's a lot of Zerglings though, probably cracklings at this point. So at least Jaedong will get this base. That's a nice win for him. But his expansion is under siege, so even if Flash loses his base, he's not in much trouble. On the other hand, if Jaedong can actually stop this army here, and you guys can see this is a huge army that's coming down, he's essentially going to lose his expansion. He's going to lose access to his main, or eventually he's going to get his main pushed. On the other hand, Flash has to clean everything up. So Flash is moving up. Yeah, the GG. So about this game, I feel like I mean, Jaedong played his heart out. Flash played really well as well. But I feel the biggest thing uh, that probably went into Flash's favor, I feel like Jaedong could have actually done more with his mutas. He did get the third base. He did get the fourth. But Flash also used the map really well to his advantage, you know, getting the choke there with the mines, um, getting the fourth base, and Flash essentially expanded all the way on the left-hand side. So that even if he did lose a base here and there, you know what, he would still have another couple more mining, you know, more minerals, more gas, etc. So overall, fantastic games. I really enjoyed this series. It would have been nice if Jaedong ended up, you know, winning one of the games. But you know, Flash played really well. And yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the cast. Give me your feedback in the comments. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. And yeah, thanks a lot.